So you've probably heard multiple side hustles, multiple incomes is what you need. You've heard it compared to like a stool. You have 3 or 4 legs on a stool, whereas if you had a stool that had maybe 1, 2 legs, if one of those legs get chopped off, it's gonna fall over. If it's a 2-leg stool, one of them gets chopped down or rearranged, it's gonna tilt over. And I feel like this is the perfect background with all of these boats and yachts and stuff behind me, because how do they get rich? And what is my plan of getting rich or getting wealthy with multiple streams of income? First off, I want to play devil's advocate and say you have 2 sides to this. You have people who say you should not have multiple streams of income. You only need 1 stream of income because being too diversified is going to throw your mind everywhere, chaotic. You won't be able to excel in one area. You won't really be able to double down. You hear people talk about that. Double down on what works. Do what works and don't try to mix up multiple things. You don't want too many chefs in the kitchen, that kind of concept. But then you also have what this video is about is multiple income streams. You need to have 8, 7, 9, 10, or whatever income stream. Either one works. Whether you go for one thing and you make that your main priority and you're really good at it and it's something that you can be really lucrative at as well. Obviously, you don't want to do something that like you can't really make money at. The other thing is if you have multiple things that don't make a lot of money, but you have multiple, you have 5 of them, 10 of them, that adds up over time. And sometimes that 5 small things can add up to more than that one big thing. The reason why people will say you don't want to have multiple baskets where you have your money in is because you're not going to be able to focus, you're not going to be able to excel. And I do agree to that to one extent. But this is where a lot of you go wrong, is that you are casting your baskets in multiple areas. And I've done this myself, right? A lot of people say like, what do you actually do? You were fitness coaching, you were personal training, you went to college, traveling around, you became a digital nomad, then you were doing Turo, you're doing Airbnb, you'll be promoting this Amazon affiliate stuff, you've been promoting Amazon reviews. Like, what are you, like, are you scamming? Like, what are you doing? I mean, I did live in Atlanta, but that's not how I roll. And I would say the reason why is because when you go after multiple things, or even if you're trying to go after that one hit, it takes a lot of trial and error. People don't look at Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and all these other people, Walmart. You don't really see that they probably started businesses beforehand, and most of them have started businesses beforehand. Tesla wasn't Elon Musk's first thing. Even the whole PayPal or transaction wasn't. Bezos, Amazon wasn't it was a bookstore first, and he had other things he did beforehand. A lot of these tech giants and tech gurus, they did multiple things before that one thing took off. And that is why I personally do the whole multiple legs, multiple baskets thing, because I want to eliminate what doesn't work and what actually works. That's why you see some of the stuff I scale back on, because I realized, it's not worth the time. Or I did it in the beginning because I wanted to make videos like this to show you like, hey, you can make money from this. This one's not as much money, but if you want it as a side gig, or this is how you get free product. So a lot of the things I do, honestly, I do to educate you all and show you that there are ways around it. But for you, you might actually want to be testing multiple things out at one time. Because let's say you go do something and you commit fully to it and it's not making that much money. Guess what? You still have bills to pay. You still have to do other things, which is why they also say, when you are working, which is why they also say, when you are starting a business or a side hustle, entrepreneurship, don't quit your 9 to 5, because you need to have multiple incomes coming in. Because if you're not making money up front from the very beginning of starting a business, which when you start most businesses, you have to put money into it, you're going to be struggling. There's going to be so much anxiety built up. You're going to lose hope and you're going to stop doing it. Same thing when it comes to these side hustles or having these multiple streams of income, is that you want to have multiple things because you want to see what works, and you don't want to take all your time and realize that this isn't working. And now you have bills to pay and you're getting behind on your credit card payment. You're getting behind on your rent. Now you're getting evicted. Your cars are getting towed, or whatever it might be. So by going to this route, right, and obviously take educated guesses. Don't just do random stuff. Figure out what stuff works for you and your lifestyle, what you have access to, your resources. Ask other people what's worked for them. But you can dabble into a little bit for 2 weeks, a month, and see what works. Or you can give yourself 6 months. I'm gonna do 6 months. I'm gonna see which one works the most. I'm gonna get the most income, less time for it. And then when it gets to that 6-month mark, I'm gonna delete the things that take too much time, doesn't make that much income, and I'm gonna hone down on these few things. Besides having to put your all so that you are going after full effort and actually maximizing, reaping the benefit of that, and not scattering yourself and getting subpar results, which is false. The other misconception is that when you have these multiple streams of income, they have to come from different industries and different professions. Honestly, that is what people are probably talking about originally when they say don't do multiple things at once, is because they see people juggling various different things that are way different from one another, things that pull them apart. So they have someone that's doing a fitness business, and then they have someone doing a financial wait, that's what I'm doing. but for me, it's actually something I am passionate about. What they end up seeing people do is people have a 9 to 5 and they do nursing, and then what ends up happening is on the side they're doing tour or something like that, and then over here they're learning how to be a notary, and then on this side they're doing babysitting, and it's just things that just don't make sense and don't add up. So I just heard 2 artists actually talk about this the other day, D1 and La Russell, and basically they were talking about how from not even being signed to labels, they get paid tons of money because they have multiple streams from their music alone. And I was just seeing a fact today actually that Taylor Swift is actually wealthiest female entertainer. She just passed Rihanna, but Rihanna made that money from Fenty. She made it from all these other things, acting as well, where Taylor Swift, all of it comes from money. All of it comes from music. And you might say like, oh, she has brand deals and sponsorships, but guess what? They sponsor her because of her music and her fan base. They don't sponsor her because of the other things she do. Whereas Rihanna made all her money. She made it from music, she made it from acting, she made it from sponsorships and brand deals and Fenty and her clothing line, and you know, she has multiple things, but they're both successful, but they done it very differently. And what those 2 artists were talking about was like D1, he was mentioning how obviously he has music generating money through streaming. He has people that actually buy albums. He has merch. He has concerts. He has speaking engagements. He has podcasts. You know, all of these things. He has publishing rights. He gives people the rights to use his production, so the beats and stuff he might make. He does features, right? All of these, that's like 6 or 7. He listed about 8 or 10 different areas, but these are all ways. Russell was talking about how he sells people ownership and rights to own his masters with him. And as you can see, that's 8 streams of income already from the same source. So just think about that. Like me, myself, I've had up to 10 income sources at one time, but let's just put it all into perspective. My fitness coaching, 3, 4 sources of income with that itself, right? I have a W-2 job, so I get paid through personal training or as an exercise physiologist now. So that's one source of income. Second source of income is I started a business. I teach online coaching. So online coaching is another one. The third one is going to be I sell ebooks. I sell fitness ebooks, you know, cookie cutter programs, $9, $5 here and there, doesn't really matter. The fourth one is going to be merch. So I do have fitness merch for my brand. Fifth one is going to be I do challenges. So the challenges are in between what I charge for the online coaching and in between what I charge for the ebooks. Right there, that's 5 sources of income from one profession. And the good thing is that even when I was doing my W-2 job, I could still record content while I'm doing the job. I can still record content of my clients and their results, and that's also what I post and get people to buy into me. And then I have my real estate stuff, so that's also there as well. So I have rental income coming in through my real estate. I was also doing Airbnb as well, and then I could leverage the growth of the market in my real estate and actually pull the money out and then put that in, which I've actually done before. So so that's 9 sources of income from 2 different areas. Now I have this content creation, what I'm doing right now on YouTube. One day I hope to be monetized on this, but even without being monetized, I'm getting paid through affiliate links. I'm getting paid through my own coaching programs that I promote in the bio. And then hopefully one day I'll also start getting brand deals and sponsorships as well as ad revenue. But let's back it up a little bit. I know earlier I said you don't want to have things that are pulling you in multiple directions. You want to have it coming from similar sources. But honestly, let's say you have a hobby that has nothing to do with your profession. Like let's say you're an accountant as a professional, but then your hobby is mountain biking. I just had this conversation with a coworker like 2 months ago. I was like, why don't you just start wearing a GoPro, connect your phone camera to your chest and just record you riding? Guess what? You can just post that on YouTube, and if it gets traction, it gets traction. But I even showed her like a few YouTube channels that like they don't do editing for this stuff. They just post their trails. And now that gets monetized, you get ad revenue from there. But then people are going to be asking or wondering what bikes and what gear I should use. So now you post your affiliate links to like Amazon or to whatever direct site of the gear that you're using if they have an affiliate program. And now you're getting paid through affiliates from there. Maybe someone asks you as a physiologist and as someone who's coached like soccer and stuff before, maybe someone asks her, hey, can you write me a program? I really want to do this race. I really want to have more endurance. Can you write me a fitness program? Now she just has 4 income sources from a side hustle, right? So sometimes you can do things that pull you in different ways, but make it make sense. If it's something you're already doing and you can do very minimal effort to actually make money from that, go do that. If you like knitting, just record yourself knitting a shirt for your grandchild. Record yourself knitting some shoes for your dog. Just post it. You don't have to edit it that much. You can start editing once you start seeing that there is traction. You can start devoting more time, but just record the stuff that you're already doing. So as I've shown you in this video, people make it a lot more complicated than it needs to be, and people just psych themselves out of it. Get you income streams, multiple sources of income streams from the same profession that you're already in. Maximize that profession as much as you can. For example, if you're an artist, right? You know, you're making your own paintings that you're selling in studios and stuff, but go record your content. Go post the long forms on YouTube. Go make shorts content and go post that. right? Go get special commissions from people from the internet, right? People are gonna watch these videos and be like, hey, can I commission you for something? Go do that. Now you're already exploding the amount of income sources you have from that art. Then you could do special guest appearances. You can sell digital prints on Etsy. You can sell digital prints on Pinterest. You can partner with a tattoo artist and sell your prints as tattoo, like so much stuff you can do. So as I mentioned earlier, I am all for having multiple sources of income, but I am not so much for having it spread yourself out. In the beginning, you might want to have it spread out, but as you start solidifying what works for you, you might want to start to niche down and figure out 2 or 3 different areas that you can cover, but making as much money as you can from there. This goes as simple as, let's say you don't want to waste your time, you don't want to do other resources, and you have money invested. Well, did you know you can actually have multiple sources of income for even your 401k, your IRAs, or whatever it is? You can have it actually growth in the market. You can have dividends being paid to you. If you're using like Robinhood or moomoo, which my links will be down below, when you have whole shares available, they'll actually pay you because they're lending those shares to someone else on any type of options or contracts they have, and they give you a difference of it without any risk to your shares. So there's multiple ways to even make money on like investment income of stocks or bonds or crypto. Even on crypto, you can make money. Like if you have like the crypto.com card or whatever, they'll give you money for just staking your crypto, and they'll give you bonuses, they'll give you free phones. And that's one way you can actually still get the growth of the crypto, but then you have side income coming from the same source. So there are many ways out there. I would say go after getting that tripod, like what my phone is standing on right now, having at least 3 legs minimum, but those 3 legs don't have to be from 3 separate different types of tripods. One is metal, one is wood, one is plastic. It can be the same plastic or metal tripod, the same tripod from the same original source. Like this is on 1 stick right now that branches to 3. Have a tree branch. Make your sources of income like a tree. You don't want to have multiple trees spread around growing green dollar bills from it. You want to have one tree that has multiple roots, and then even on that tree, it has multiple branches going out. That is how you want your income to be. Let me know what you thought about this video. If you want access to any of my coaching links or even any of my affiliate links, hopefully that makes any sense. If you like this video, please subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and all my links for everything mentioned in the video will be down below. Make sure you check out one of my other videos.